Okay, y'all. So here's part 5. So after the nurse threw the socks at my mom, she said another nurse came in holding me, dressed in all white like a nun. And she said the nurse pulled the chair up close to her bed and held me up to her so she could see me. And she was just rubbing my hair. She said she looked off and then looked back. Me and the nurse was gone. Then another nurse came in and said, "Okay, Miss Lance, you ready to see your baby now?" She said, "But I already saw her." She said, "A lady came in dressed like a nun holding her." And she said, "No, don't nobody work here dressed like a nun in all white." And she said, then at that moment, she knew that there was an angel holding me. So then she realized people peeping through the window of the room, looking at her, pointing their finger at her, and peeping through the door, looking at her. And she said they would even go so far as to come in the room when they thought she was asleep and talk amongst themselves about her. And she thought, well, they doing all this because I told on them, on the people that was plotting against me. So when Dr. Newman came in, she asked Dr. Newman, can she go home the next day? And he said, okay, only on one condition, that you do not pick up the baby and you bring the baby in for an appointment the following day. She said, okay. So they went home, and the following day, me, and my dad went to his office. She signed in, and instead of them taking her to the exam room, to get undressed and get examined, they took all of us straight back to his chambers. And I was in the car seat, and they sat me on the table, and he played with me a little bit. And he said I was at home eating dinner with my family. Then I heard a voice saying, "Go to the hospital." He said, all of a sudden, I stood up like a zombie and was on my way to the hospital. Then when I get to the hospital, the nurse said, "Dr. Newman, what are you doing here?" He said, "I don't know. I just had the urge to come to the hospital." And then she said he balled up his fist and he started beating the table. He started beating the table. And he said, "How did you know to call me?" She said, "I didn't. Jesus told me." And he said, "Well, how did you know you couldn't have a baby?" She said, "I didn't. Jesus told me you had less than 5 minutes and that I couldn't have a baby." He said, "Well, uh-oh, time's up. Like for part 6.